I stayed in that cell 24 hours, man, for 7 years straight in solitary confinement, never coming out that cell at Florida State Penitentiary. Everybody who, was at the penitentiary with me, everybody who know me, come and confirm as such.
Wow.
And I look back and say, damn, I did that.
You don't wear it. You don't wear it. You don't.
But you know what that shit taught me though, being in that cell though? It taught me some it taught me some priceless lessons, man. It taught me this, bro, that truthfully, when you're back against the wall and you ain't got nobody to call on, you got to dig deep within and call on yourself and make God your best friend.
Come on.
So you got a lot of people out here that act like they lonely, like they just need a dude or need a woman in their life. They needy as fuck. Wow. You see what I'm saying? That shit gave me a mind state out this world so motherfucking strong to where I know that if the whole motherfucking world turned their back on me, I got me and God got
Eddie's brothers. Man, I've always admired men that can go into prison and can come out not only reformed, but can come out and have a slightly different mindset than most men. Like I've always noticed, and it started when one of my cousins, man, when I was a teenager, a cousin of mine got in some trouble, man, and ended up doing, I want to say right at 20 years, give or take a year, man. And I noticed that when he came out, I thought he was going to be bad off. I thought he was going to be mental and all kind of stuff, but he came out sharp. He came out with a different level of understanding and just did big things, and is still doing big things. I might have him on my on a video one day, man. But since then, I've always been impressed with men that come out of prison and can have that drive like that, like a Wes Watson. And there are a lot of content creators, man, that have done time and now they're doing big things. But I've always thought that they had some kind of advantage. And I understand now, man, that the advantage that they had was really being forced into like the deepest levels of solitude. Because I believe, man, that before you advance, you're going to have to be confined in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Unfortunately, man, a lot of men get in some trouble and a lot of men go and have to go do, 2, 5, 10, or 20 years or more in prison. And they're forced to kind of sit still and go through some things. But man, I believe that if we as men can program ourselves to confine ourselves, even though we're in this free world, even though the club is just right down the street, even though the women are out down the block, if we can still get to the point where we can confine ourselves for a certain amount of time, I mean, even if it's just for a weekend, but if we can confine ourselves for 30, 60, or 90 days of life, man, I believe all mountains can be moved. I believe every single thing that we're trying to do can be accomplished. I really believe that, man. So when I say confine, I literally mean that. Like, even though we're free, man, I believe you're going to have to put yourself in a spot where you're just shut down from society. Yeah, you might go to the store, man, and see all these baddies. And to be honest, man, a lot of times it's hard to see beautiful women and not want to just, have some conversation, or it's hard to see your partners going out to these events, or it's hard to see your friends going on vacations and doing all these things that you have the ability to do. It's hard to do those things or have access to those things, but still just shut down and mentally put yourself in a cell. Mentally, man, and physically put yourself in your home, put yourself only in your apartment and work or whatever, right? For a certain amount of time and just lock in. Because I believe to get the same advantage that these brothers that I speak of have, man, like you have to, and I'll just say it like this, to advance, You have to go, and I made a video about this a while back, talking about going through the fire. I'll leave a link. You have to have that period of where you're sitting still, but where you're going through the fire, or where you're processing everything about your life. Just a few minutes, man, just a few weeks where you're just sitting there processing why your life is what it is. You're processing and you're deciphering what your truth is, because your truth is why your life is doing what it's doing. Like, you got to sit there and say, hey, man, I'm miserable, man. I've been at this same job for 32 years, man, and I've been trying to do something else. What is it that's keeping me here? I've been trying to get the 20 pounds off, man. Every relationship I get in is jacked up. What is it that's causing this? And like I said on that video, man, it's going to take you being extremely honest with yourself. It's going to take you extreme. And that alone is the reason why a lot of people don't even want to go through the fire, is because it requires that level of honesty. It requires you seeing yourself for what you are. And it's not pretty. And it's painful. It's on one side, man, it's painful to have to revisit a lot of the things that form your truths. Whether it's abuse, whether it's whatever it is, right? Like, you got to go back down through that and call those things what they are and decipher them, because that's what made you who you are. It's painful. So that right there alone is why a lot of people don't go that route. That alone. Going through the pasture, for y'all that read A Singular Truth. Right? So that's painful, man. On the other side, another thing that's painful, man, is having to look at yourself and knowing that you could have done more, and knowing that you could have done better. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times when we look at our truth, or a lot of times when we look at the reasons why we haven't advanced, it's simply because of us and our efforts and our laziness and our lack of discipline and our lack of drive. Like I said a million times, man, everybody knows how to get to their finish line. There's not a single person that can't figure it out. There's not a single person that hasn't seen a YouTube video or read a book and somebody wrote the script and they have an idea of how to get in the vicinity of their finish line. But a lot of times it's laziness. A lot of times it's lack of discipline. A lot of times it's lust and vices and all those things. So you'll see that. When you sit still, man, and sit in that ring of fire, you'll see all of that, man. And you got to just come to the conclusion like, hey, you know what? I could have had that thing already. I could have had that life. I could have had that asset. I could have had that person in my life. I could have lived in this city. Like, I could have really had that. But because of my thoughts, action, and behaviors, that's not the world that revolves around me, man. So you have to sit in that ring of fire. And before you leave that ring, one thing you're gonna have to do is, and this is by far the most important thing, is cut the energetic ties that are holding you back. You know what I'm saying? Your truth is strong enough. But there are some energetic ties that you won't let go. And when I say won't let go, man, and I've had this conversation, it seems like 3, maybe 4 times over the last 7 to 10 days with certain people on my one-on-one. Like, this has been a hot topic. Like, a lot of people don't understand forgiveness isn't for the person, it's for you. It's for your advancement. So a lot of times, man, you're still pissed off. You're still pissed off, not understanding that energy you're sending back to that person, and they don't even know it. It's the ball and chain that's keeping you in the world that you're in. I don't care, and I'm gonna say this, man, because I don't care what was done to you. And it's easy for me to sit here and say that because I know there are some horrendous things that have been done to people. Horrendous things that have been done to people in their youth and when they were vulnerable and that. Y'all know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to go deep. You're gonna have to go deep and connect to something that would allow you to say, hey, you know what? It is what it is. Like I have to forgive you because I got to move forward. And I'm going to tell you what makes it easier. If you can just go inside of your mind and look at that person at face value and say, hey, you know what? You got this from somewhere. Like you're doing this to little kids, or you're whatever you're doing, or your energy is like this, or you treat people like this, or you cheated on me, or you were abusive to me. All these things, you have to say that came from somewhere. Like you didn't just want to wake up one day and be a person on the dark side of life. Like that came from somewhere. And the person that you got it from, they got it from somewhere. And they got it from somewhere. And at that point, you got to say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna chalk it to the game and say, hey, you know what? That happened, but I'm going to forgive you and keep it moving. Not saying you got to keep on entertaining a certain thing or places or people, even if they're blood. That don't mean you have to entertain them, but you have to forgive them. You have to forgive them. On the other side of that same coin, you have to release those same, and I don't know how to say this. You have to release that same energy that's within you that you've done people wrong. And I know I said that kind of jacked up, but just like you have to forgive some people need to forgive you. You've done some people wrong and just kind of stepped out and kept it moving and really gave that person no closure, which not saying closure is always important, but sometimes you might have to get on that phone and call somebody that you ain't talked to in 5 years, 2 years, 6 months, and say, you know what? This was jacked up. You know, I know you've moved on. I've moved on. I know you're probably thinking, why am I calling you? Why am I texting you? Why am I sending you an email? Why am I writing you this letter? And I'm not even wanting any feedback from you. But I just want to let you know that, hey, I admit that I was wrong. I was jacked up. I was in a dark spot. And I'm sorry. No need to respond. I apologize. Man, I'm going to tell you this. I can count on more than one hand how many times I've done that. I've done that a number of times, man. You know, and not saying that it was necessary, because I hope that those people forgave me, but it just felt good in my spirit as far as me moving forward, as far as me releasing chains. It just felt good for me to do that so I could move, so I could, you know, it was part of me in my ring of fire, man, trying to make every single thing right. You know, so one of the things is you have to forgive, right? So after that ring of fire, man, which is really you just reflecting on your current truth, you have to, I wish I brought my water, man. You have to decide and agree. The second phase of you being in that confinement, brothers, is you have to decide and agree. And I'm gonna tell you this, right? I can tell you this with ease. Most people rarely decide on something major in life. I'm not talking about deciding on, hey, babe, where we going out to eat this weekend? Where we going, you know, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about making major decisions that will move you forward. Again, saying, hey, I've been at this job for 32 years, but I understand that, hey, you know what? Retirement isn't going to look like what I want it to look like if I stay here. I've been at this job for 32 years. I've been in this relationship for this long. I understand the future that I desire. It won't look like I want it to if I stay in this situation. The freedom I desire, I'll never have it if I keep doing the same thing. So in order to get out of that, I have to make a decision. Very few people make decisions like that. You know, they may have the thoughts of it. They may daydream about it. They may even talk about it amongst family and friends, man. But to decide is scary. To decide is scary now that I think about it, man. Because when you decide, what you're saying is, when you make a decision saying, this is my life, I'm about to put some things in order and start a whole new mission to change my world. When you decide, what you're saying is, I'm taking a risk on life and there's a chance that I might fail. There's a, if I'm jumping off this bridge, there's a chance that this parachute doesn't open up. Of course, my faith and my truth is saying that it is, but when I first start taking that when I first move in that energy, like that void is there, and that void is saying, hey, there's a chance you won't survive this, or you won't win, and just seeing that void real quick will make a man snap right back in his shoes and get right back on that assembly line and do another 32 years. You know what I'm saying? To decide is scary, man. To decide, well, I'm gonna say this. When you decide, this is what's happening. You gotta picture this. Yeah, and just going back to the same scenario. You're on the assembly line, right? And I'm just figuratively speaking now, right? You're on assembly line, and it's 15 brothers, right? On assembly line. Y'all been there every single day doing the same thing. Y'all know each other's kids and family. Y'all know each other's habits and everything. Y'all brothers, right? Beautiful thing. Y'all brothers. Let's say one day you show up and you ain't on the assembly line no more. And they say, where you go, brother? Oh, I went to this seminar, man. I'm trying to get to this whole real estate game, man. I'm gonna be walking out this job in a minute, man, because I'm about to be buying and flipping cribs. What they're gonna do, man, is they're gonna all come into a subliminal, without word spoken agreement, and they're all gonna be looking at you. They're still gonna be on that assembly line, but they're almost going to be waiting on you to fail. Not saying they really want you to, they don't want you to lose, but if you win, it's going to expose them. It's going to expose them. Like I said in the video yesterday, I said, when you start walking in your truth, just because you're in the room, you expose the truth of everybody else. And everybody doesn't like their truth being exposed if they aren't walking in it. So when you with a bunch of brothers, man, and y'all moving in sync and you step out the box and you want to do something greater, everybody else is going to say, hey, you know what? He's exposing the laziness in me. He's exposing the fear in me. So that right there alone is reason enough why a lot of men don't do it. There's a lot of fear associated with making a decision. But you have to do it. When you're in this confinement, if you want to come out, you have to do it, man. Not only decide, you have to agree. Going back to what I said yesterday, that I'm talking about all the time. Your higher and lower self, you agree to it. In other words, you're saying, okay, yeah, I acknowledge the fact that I've been on this assembly line for 30 years. I acknowledge the fact that my truth was I saw my pops do it. Pops did it for 45 years. So it was my truth. It was how I was supposed to be moving. Not saying it was bad, but it was my truth, right? Now I'm understanding that I can do something else and I'm going to do it. I have doubt. I have fears. I have a small void of a lack of abundance inside of me. Now it's time to get married, man. Now it's time to form that bond with your spiritual self. All things are possible through the Christ version of me. My ego is saying there are fears. Let me come together, man, and say, you know what? We're going to agree on something. And the agreement is my new truth. My agreement is now I'm a successful real estate agent. Now I have clients that are calling me nonstop. Now I'm flipping 2 or 3 houses a year. Now my wife is able to quit her job. Now my kids are able to do X, Y, Z. Now, like that's your new truth. So that's the agreement. The vows. Those are the vows. Your I am statement are your vows, man. So the second thing is, man, you have to decide and agree, right? And the third and final part of coming out of that deepest level of confinement / solitude is you have to strategize and you have to execute. You have to strategize and execute. Now, when I say strategize, I'm gonna just say this, because I'm always talking about moving forward. I always say that if you knew how to do it, you would have already done it. So you have to understand that initially it's not a part of your truth. If you just wake up one day and you've been, let's say you've been 300 pounds your whole life, right? The last 20 years. And one day you just wake up and say, hey, you know what? I want to be 250 or whatever, right? Right then It's not a part of your truth. So you're not going to just wake up one day and just move in that energy. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not, so you have to strategize. You have to research on things. Not only just research on things, but you have to, I'm going to say this, man. You have to make whatever it is you're doing personal. And when I say make it personal, you have to understand that everybody, there might be 20 people on your block or 20 people in your city that are doing real estate and flipping houses. But you have to understand that, okay, yeah, you can get that knowledge, but you want to make it personal. You want it to be your version of doing that thing. You know what I'm saying? Just like getting on the World Wide Web, getting on YouTube, you can type in any subject in the world, and you won't find one single person, having a monopoly on that conversation. You won't type in something in your search engine and get one person that knows how to do it, or one person giving you the game on it. You're gonna find several, maybe hundreds of thousands of people but every single person is giving you that thing from their perspective. You have a lot of people that are doing real estate, and I'm keep using that for an example, and they're still selling the same houses as everybody else. But they're doing something different. They have their fingerprint on it. So you have to strategize, man, and see what is it that you offer. What is it that's special about you that you can implement into this same field? Strategize, plan it out. Plan it out, man. Like put a small business plan together. It don't have to be some elaborate PowerPoint presentation, Just get you a napkin and write down some steps. These are the steps I have to take. And move in that direction, which is the second part of that, man. You have to execute. You have to execute. And I'm going to tell you this. I can guarantee the far majority of the time, depends on what it is and if you're kind of familiar with it or if it's something completely brand new, you're going to look crazy for 5 minutes. You're going to look crazy the first time, maybe even the second time you fire that camera up and make a YouTube video. You're going to look slightly awkward. You're going to be talking different and da. But you have to understand this too, man. You have to understand this. And this is the beauty of it, man, of walking into that new world after executing. You know what I'm saying? Is the people that are already on the other side, they're going to be like, we see you. We see you. Come on over here. Like, we see you firing that camera up, making that content. Yeah, you ain't got but 3 subscribers. You're on your 15th video. You got 20 subscribers. We see you. Come on over here to the winning side. Where those that are still on the assembly line, that are waiting on you to lose, they're going to be chuckling. Oh, man, you saw so-and-so put that video out. You saw Mary Jane put that listing for sale. She trying to sell it. She trying to flip a house, man. Bro trying to flip a house. Bro done went and leased a building trying to start a part store, man. What is he thinking about? You know what I'm saying? You're going to find 2 separate types of people. And that right there is going to let you know who to gravitate to and which direction to keep going. The ones that are cheering you, and I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this right now. And you already know this. The ones that will be cheering you on aren't the ones that you think it'll be. The ones that you think that will be cheering you on when you do that thing, whatever it is, when you move from Dallas to Atlanta, when you open up the part store, when you write the book or start the YouTube channel, the people that you think are going to be there clapping, it's not going to be them. It's not going to be them. It's going to be the strangers. It's going to be your real tribe. You know, it's going to be the people that are flying just like you, that are taking chances just like you, that are jumping off cliffs to pull that parachute just like you. Those are going to be the people. I can tell you this now. Yeah, you can go ahead and put your accomplishments or put the thing you're getting ready to do on your personal Facebook page if you want to. All you're doing is informing them what you're doing. You're not getting no support. I remember when I first started YouTube, I remember putting my first, I don't know, I think when I first started, I was putting like my videos on my personal Facebook page. This was 2016 or whatever. And all my friends that were liking my pictures before, I might go on vacation or I might post up with my girl or whatever, man. And people be like, yeah, beautiful thing. But when they saw me taking that quantum leap, when they saw me breaking chains, now all of a sudden I'm posting YouTube videos that I made on my Facebook page. Now I ain't getting but 20 views. I ain't getting but 15 views and 2 likes. People were threatened by that. Because now my new truth was making everybody around me, and just like you, when you form a new truth, everybody around you is going to have to say, oh, what's my truth? And I was posting videos on YouTube, my other channel, right? And I would have videos over there, man, they were getting 20,000, 30,000, 80,000 views. And I felt like, hey, let me share this with my people that I grew up with, man. Let me get them. And I would post it on Facebook. And out of thousands of people that were subscribed to me on Facebook, you might get 1 or 2 likes. And one of them was probably my mama. And the other one, my sister. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was weird. I'm like, people gonna feel some kind of way when you move like this, man. People are going to feel some kind of way. And that's why it's important for you to be in that sale. That's why it's important for you to be in that sale, man, so you can find self and that you can come out and walk in with God and God alone. That's why it's important. But I'm going to say it again, man. Before you advance, you have to be confined. Before you advance, you have to be confined, man. So write down your goals. That's what I'm going to say. Write down your goals. Write down the future version of yourself. Write down a 90-day version of yourself, 60-day version of yourself. Go out this weekend, man, and have a blast. Drink one, blaze one, snort one, whatever it is you do, right? And say, okay, you know what? I got that out of my system because I'm about to be locked up for a minute. I'm about to do some time, and go into that shell, man, and close that door behind you, bro, and just lock in. And I promise, man, again, like I'm always saying, that needle will start moving, brothers.